minutes.
Yeah.
But we wanted to know about how we got to know each other and how, our businesses kind of have the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Before we leave, if somebody likes what they heard and they want to work with you or they want to see what your graphics team can do,
Sure.
what's the best way to reach out to you?
You could just reach out to MattyEaats.com. So it's MattyEaats.com. And you could just reach me there, and any big inquiries could just be just kind of push through email. And that's kind of how I roll. Instagram lately has just been an algorithmic mess, so I kind of stay away from there to promote any material or it's
cannabis scene on Instagram is almost obsolete these days. Like, I've had to find funny ways to finagle it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my team over at Cali's. This podcast is 100% a believer in y'all, and we love y'all, and we're going to do everything to make sure we put fucking feet in front of your door. Fret not, but I do understand. Like, it's a very fickle bitch right these days.
It's tough. So just basically my website, you'll find all my contact information there. I keep it really low key.
Nice. All right, so this is going to be the nitty-gritty. Cool. So we have a fair amount of folks that listen and follow along from the New York scene. Shout out to Jeremy Jacobowitz, a.k.a. Brunch Boys.
Oh, absolutely. I know Jeremy.
Yeah, he's a friend of the program. We did an episode, but we did it on a patio in fucking the West Village.
Sure.
It was like a jackhammer the whole time. He was like, man, I'm not sure this is going to cut it. And I was like...
we were actually working on something with him, with Ethic, probably 4 or 5 years ago, but it just didn't materialize. But absolutely, Jeremy, Brunch Boys, good people.
Dude, love them. But also, he kind of helped us kind of grow our little brand up there as well. So
awesome.
We're going to pick a little bit of your brain on your favorite vibes up there.
Yeah.
And then places that translate to here. So
cool.
I want you to give me your favorite happy hour in Manhattan or in New York, whatever, and tell the borough and neighborhood. And then we're going to translate to your favorite happy hour in Denver that reflects that. Because we're starting to see people from the East Coast moving to Denver. We're starting to see places like the Try Hard Wannabe Soho clubs and things of that nature.
Sure.
House club music and things of that. All that's starting to migrate. We're starting to see more of that city vibe.
Yeah.
So I want to see what you liked there and what you see here and what you like about it.
Yeah, so...
That's going to be your questions for the day.
Cool, I got you.
We're starting with happy hour.
Happy hour. And we're drinking. So... That's a hard question, but let me get to it. 169 Bar on Rutgers and Canal, Chinatown. Probably the best happy hour spot. Flight to Concord was filmed there. It's right around the corner from one of my favorite late time Chinese spots called Wu's Wonton King. A nice late night. Any New Yorker, any Lower East Side, any downtown fuck would know. 169
There's
Bar.
That New York accent.
You know the fucking deal.
See, we
it's
just had to bring
boy.
it out of you. It was
so
a
169 Bar cocktail, and you get it. And so that's that.
Wait,
always.
Am I a noob if I say Joe's Shanghai soup dumplings are fantastic?
No, that's a great one. That's a
I
great
thought those
one.
were great. When you said Chinatown.
Pings for me, though, goes a little further. It's a relic. It's on Mott Street. Pings. Shout out Pings, my guy Lee.
When are we going to go up there? Can we find a way to collab and make a food trip out of a New York?
Easy.
Yeah?
That's like...
We got to find some sponsors to cover this.
We could do,
Shout out to JetBlue. I know you're listening.
Yeah, JetBlue. Come on. Fork it over.
They're the greatest ones. Yeah. I was always worried. So when I went up there last time, goofed off with Jeremy, and actually went up there for Kelly's event with Bon Appetit magazine in Brooklyn.
Awesome.
I was scared to post food because people are going to be like, Jesus Christ, look at this fucking tourist. But that's what I was.
I did that all day. So no. 169 Bar, best mac and cheese, awesome oyster shooters, great pool table, great ladies. 169 Bar, Rutgers and Canal, best happy hour spot. Lower East Side, Manhattan, downtown, hands down. Then you can go to like Cipriani if you're feeling bougie, because my by Fabio. Easy, but like for a real dive, real like relic, real that's New York City experience, grimy. Yeah, 169 all day.
And then do you have a place in Denver that you have found is kind of that?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on one. Don's Club Tavern.
Okay.
It's on 6th Ave up in Cap Hill. Don's Club Tavern.
Yeah.
It's just kind of that grimy little vibe. You can get condoms and cigarette Lucy's out of the vending machine. They got the pool table. They got shuffleboard. They got a little back patio. I give it. Don's will be your comparison.
Okay, Don's.
All right. I like it.
But
and since you haven't been able to kind of really experience
Haven't
Denver,
yet.
I'm going to give you these comparisons if you don't have one, so that you can find that vibe for you, and so that our East Coasters know where to hunt when they're here as well.
Yeah, and that's great because I'm not living in Denver. I'm living in close to Netherlands.
You're up
so I'm
in
the mountains. Yeah,
That's
so
smart probably for your vibe.
Especially after my situation, I couldn't be in another city, so I was like, you know what, I need to kind of chill.
That is kind of shift. How is that going for you?
Shift.
You love it?
I don't know.
I mean, Netherlands a whole different vibe than New York City. I mean, it's
went to school in UVM. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. Went to school at UVM, Vermont. So I am very in tune with the outdoors. I took a lot of outdoors courses, so I do know when I can get it. Yeah, I love it. It's a change of pace. I mean, I was living on 34th between 3rd and Lex, Midtown, cross street from Empire State Building. You couldn't get any more busier. So coming from that to here was a great, relaxing experience and really put my brain where it had to be.
So there's no like FOMO of like you're in the bright lights. There's action all about, and then
I miss it. I'm going back in July.
Yeah, but not like you don't feel the need to try to like replicate that.
No,
with
Colorado is my new home.
Yeah, but Netherlands is the new vibe.
Is a new vibe. Yeah, okay. I can't see myself coming down here. Just the traffic getting here was just absurd. And
you were like, I'm on 70, and I was like, ditto, and you're like, I'll see you in 40 minutes. And I was like, the fuck, where are you on 70?
I mean, I've never experienced anything like this. There's a West Side Highway, and then there's the FDR Drive in Manhattan. 2 highways get you up and down. I mean, I don't know.
And so what would you – all right, so I don't know the vibe. I did – so I took the subway. I took a yellow taxi just because I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to feel the New York vibe. And then, of course, I used Ubers as well.
Yeah.
What is the preferred – would you rather sit in Denver traffic, New York traffic?
New York traffic. I don't know. It's just different out. It's a different type of traffic, and I don't know. It's a silly way to say that, but
is it like I'm trying to go 2 miles, or is it easy to navigate, like going from Queens to fucking like Lower East Side?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if like you're like the amount of traffic is like in New York. It's like if there's traffic, you see it and it ends. Here, it's like okay, we have traffic, and now we don't, and now we do, and now we don't, and now we do, but now we don't. And for me, that's just like
now we don't.
So I don't understand that, and it's kind of like everything's out of the blue and spontaneous. So that's the traffic to me that I kind of it's different, you know. But I get it. And I'm not down here too often unless I'm kind of with some clients or I'm shooting a podcast with you.
Hey, well, I'm glad you took the time out of your schedule, and thanks for trekking on down here.
I appreciate it.
All right, so here's the next question, Matty.
Yeah.
What was your go-to date night in New York? And give us a little rundown on the vibe and the price point. And do it in dollar signs rather than actual price point, because obviously $200 isn't that crazy up there, but $200 is top tier here.
Probably Carbone. Carbone is a famous Italian restaurant in Manhattan.
Were you a Manhattan kid?
No, born outside of the suburbs,
like
in Rockland County. Rockland
okay.
County. It's a little suburb outside where all the Jews roam.
At what age did you start riding the trains by yourself? That is because that's my biggest thing in New York.
Yeah.
I was walking around with a buddy of mine from the South who he and his wife and his child are now children, live up there. But there's kids that are 11 years old that are skating over the top of these fucking taxi cabs, obviously, without a crosswalk. And I'm like, these kids are probably tasting Coke at like the age of 11 when I was like, they just age so much quicker up there.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, at what age did you start riding transit?
Oh, I don't know, probably 13.
Yeah.
13 or 14 probably, but it was the Metro North.
That means nothing
the Metro
to
North
me.
is a train that runs from the suburbs and the outskirts of the city into Manhattan, because I didn't live in Manhattan. I was born outside of Manhattan.
And then
I moved into Manhattan later on in life.
Okay. But at 13, but your parents were like, yeah, he can take the train into the city.
Yeah.
It's like fucking
and I
Anthony
explored
Soprano.
and I navigated, and that's what made me kind of understand the city so well. I mean, forget it. I could walk blindfolded. So
really,
that's my city, man.
Yeah, dude, I definitely
that's
want to go back
city,
with
man.
you. Let's get a trip going for the fall.
It's easy.
Let's do it.
Easy. We'll go see Travi.
Dude, let's do it. So I went up there, shout out Jeremy, whenever, that was October. I want to go, I'm a big Christmas guy. And obviously, like last year when cheap flights were going around and like you could get a hotel or a B&B for like $7. Like the price, I was like, but I want to be able to go into I know Macy's may be closed.
34th Street on Macy's.
I want to do all those things. So I want to go back when the lights are hung,
and it's great.
And it's scarf season. Like, it has to be scarf season. If I can't wear my layers, I'm out. If it's fucking 78 degrees, I might as well be back home in New Orleans or Mississippi.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm a Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama kid.
Okay.
Just kind of peppered all throughout there, family in every which way. So we loved watching Home Alone 2 and seeing snow.
You know it all, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. And
all right, we're going back.
We're going back. That's easy. We'll do an episode over there at Travis in his basement.
Bada bing, and then we'll just go eat our stomach's content.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. So Carbone, Italian restaurant. I don't know, booked out 4 or 5 months in advance always. But I had the privilege of knowing someone who had his table there, reserved table always. So I could always get into Carbone. Great restaurant, great quality, best spicy ragu ever. Really high end. Jay-Z has a table there, loves it. Carbone. I don't know, 2,500.
A table
for the dinner, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I think that the closest thing we would have to that is Frosca in Boulder.
What's it called?
Frosca. It's Bobby Stuckey's place. Shout out to the co-host, Chris. He works at Tavernetta, their Denver-based location that is also exceptional. Price point is obviously not nearly that, but something like a Bobby Stuckey's place at Frosca in Boulder.
Yeah.
He's won James Beard Awards for their ambiance service, things of that nature.
Yeah.
We'd plug that. And then Wolf's Taylor. They do like an Italian blended fusion style vibe. Its price point is moderate or, high end for Denver.
Yeah, sure.
A little bit more fusion style, but those would be the two I would compare to Carbone's. Just off fancy, hard to get a table.
Yeah.
You want to try it because it's dank-ass food, and you may catch somebody there.
Great quality, exactly. You may catch someone there. And also 11 Mad is probably the next one.
So,
11 Madison.
So we've interviewed those cats.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, and Chris has been there because Chris's sister lives in Astoria.
Okay.
Shout out to the Byer family and crew. I think Martha lives, in Greek neighborhood.
In Astoria.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Shout out Elia's Corner in Astoria one time. One of the best Greek spots, hands down, ever to exist.
I mean, Chris was glowing when he came back. So he does a family trip up there like July 4th every year. Goes sees his sister, do New York things.
Sure.
And so because we had done the podcast, we shout out to Kevin Lind and Rich Lee. Rich is now at Saison over in San Francisco, and Kevin is up in Jackson Hole doing hospitality management.
Cool.
But those guys were operating out of 11 Madison Park and then did the 11 Madison Park pop-up in Aspen. And so
there was a pop-up here, huh?
Yeah, so you know how they do the one in the summertime out at the Hamptons where they do
they did, right?
They did a winter house in Aspen.
Very cool.
And we went up there and partied with them, did an episode, did yurt life. It was epic, but Chris will say the same thing about EMP.
Yeah.
That they shifted. So let me ask your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
They're going all vegetarian this year because of
art. So I didn't know this.
So they just announced this in the last month or two. 11 Madison Park is going completely vegetarian due to the shortage of staff inside of meat packaging and warehousing, and it's just so unreliable that they are no longer going to do it. Everything down to their duck entree that has been world renowned for 15 plus years.
That's a shift.
So thoughts on that? Will they be able to continue? Would rich people still go there if it's just vegetables?
I think they will. I think they'll still have that. It's the experience. Again, we'll go back to the experience of dining, right?
Yeah.
The food could be, subpar. But most people, it's an Instagrammable world right now, right? So everyone wants to kind of get in there and take that selfie in front of that neon sign, right? Or take that selfie in front of the fog, grass. That's it's always for the gram, or it's always for the post. And in my opinion, I think that they'll continue to carry on their legacy just by being who they are.
Hey, I like what you were saying about how it's kind of an Instagram vibe, because as we're sitting here at Free Market, we're literally sitting across from Scott Young's studio, who handles all of, if you've seen an Instagrammable post of, one of those highlighting lights around town, it's fucking Scott Young. And we're sitting here across the studio as we speak and looking at it. So when we're sitting here talking about it, we had to mention it.
Absolutely.
But you're right. It has become an Instagrammable world. The dish can now be more petite if it's sexy. Whereas I come from a place where it's a blue plate lunch. It's a meat and 3 vegetables for $9.
And I love that too. And that's why I love both aspects of that type of mentality, where you can go somewhere and also get run-of-the-mill, experience, but also feel super satisfied at the end.
Okay, so shout out to one time when we were going to New York.
Yeah.
One of the things that did happen, and it breaks my heart and it gives me chill bumps to this day, was that we were supposed to have lunch and do an episode with Carlos Ruiz, who's no longer with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he was the king of cheap eats. And so, I mean, literally.
Shout out Christian Petroni and Carlos Ruiz.
Christian's a supporter of the pod as well.
Is he?